Da, da, hey, 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 hey. How's everybody doing?
We're
It
live.
is Tuesday night. We are live once again. A battery-powered $4.99 super chat to start out the evening. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh yes, we got that going on. I need to move this closer. I might have to reach it a lot. I don't know. Um, yeah. So we got a show tonight. I'm sure we do.
Jason's like half asleep still.
Yeah, I'm just oh man, I'm so tired. So tired. It's ridiculous. It really it's pitiful. It's pitiful how tired I am. Um yeah, and in my video today it didn't take off. It didn't go.
But you smashed some headphones. I thought it was funny. It was great. Smash, smash, smash. Oh, it cracked. Like, dude,
well, you never know. You never know. You never know.
you went to town on those things like Mike Tyson.
Yeah, well the gaming headsets like I did the same thing with the Soundcore Q20s and they just came apart like I don't know, something that comes apart.
Yeah.
And and gaming headsets are a little bit more stout.
Yeah.
So, but the one of them's bent all over the place, and the other is it's not. It's still they're still usable. I could
Oh,
probably bring the others back and still use them, but yeah. So I'm bummed out. I'm gonna put this banner in here so that people can watch this video.
All right. And after you put that banner in there, I believe it's time to hit our music.
we have
Yes.
music.
There we go. Go watch my video.
Yes,
after the show's over. All right. In the meantime, here we go.
All right, all right, all right.
Well, good evening, people. Good evening, people. It is yet another Tuesday here in the year of our quarantine, the 9th of June, this 2020. Yes. And we've got all kinds of good stuff going on here tonight. I'm going to be honest. I just woke up from a little nap. So it might take me a minute or so to like get my stuff together.
All right. While he wakes up, I got to thank all of the Wizard Squad because last week we accomplished a major milestone in the Pantheon and Tech YouTube career. We got the magic, baby. He has the magic keyboard on deck. We did it, you all. Thank you to all of y'all that donated to the fun last week. He has the keyboard in hand. Bam! There it is. Woo!
I just got it an hour ago. It showed up at 6:00. So I used it to type an email, and with every keyboard you got to get used to like how it's different than the keyboard that you're used to. So, but I will say that I was dubious like whether or not I would be able to do the thing that I like to do, and lay in bed and watch YouTube. But I can get a good angle. Like, so this thing like just lays on my chest and I got the iPad in my face. You can get a good angle on that. So yeah, so far so good. Yes, it's that rubbery. It's not as bad as some, but yeah, it's that rubbery texture. I guess I didn't really think about what texture it would have. So, but yes, thank you to everyone who contributed to the Painfully Honest Tech Magic Keyboard Fund. We will have more about the Magic Keyboard soon, because tomorrow I'll do some actual work on it, and then we'll know some things. So yeah, thank you all for that. It just showed up today. Thank you, Amazon. Amazon's got these Prime trucks now.
like
Yep.
actual like labeled Prime trucks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know, like, when did that happen? It just seemed like halfway through the pandemic, all of a sudden, there a bunch of Amazon Prime trucks.
Well, I remember reading, I think it was late last year, that they were ending their contract basis or only going monthly, like with FedEx, because they were going to do their own thing. So I think that's a big part of it. That's at least in the United States.
yeah, I don't think I've gotten anything from Amazon through FedEx in quite some time. U.S. Postal Service
Mhm.
and UPS still, but not the others. So interesting.
The coolest thing about the Amazon Prime delivery service is that they deliver on Sundays. I like that.
Well, yeah, I've gotten stuff from USPS on Sundays as well. So my wife's always like, "Oh, I feel bad for those people who are working on Sunday." I'm like,
No.
it's their job. You don't
Part of
feel bad for people that work at restaurants on Sunday, do you?
practically more than half of the process at the warehouses is automation anyway, and then it, you know, they vary. There's not as many people as hands-on picking and stuff like that, especially when it's like regular stuff like office supplies and stuff like that. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Scott, thank you for the $5 super chat, adding to the total that we're pulling in for the Magic Keyboard Fund. David Black, thank you for the super sticker, the $3 super sticker.
There we go.
Excellent. Yes. So yeah, I put out a video today.
Mhm.
A new series of video on the Painfully Honest Tech channel called Cash or Smash. And yeah, I basically got like three $40 gaming headsets from Amazon. They were all Amazon choice, or like, well, two were Amazon choice. One was like super highly rated.
Mhm.
It had like, you know, a bunch of ratings, like thousands of. So yeah, I did like a little react thing with them. I pulled them out of the box. And then the two that did not win my heart, I smashed. And
Yeah.
I thought people would really enjoy that video.
I thought there'd be more like you wasted your money type comments, the kind of stuff that like that Zach over at Jerry Rig Everything gets. But
Yeah,
haven't seen the comments yet. Haven't seen those comments yet.
I did get one comment saying that I was creating e-waste.
Well,
You could argue that those gaming headsets were e-waste in the first place.
ouch, man.
Woo!
Who's never getting a sample from MPEL again? Jason T. Lewis.
Man, I better go crawl in a hole. I'm too sad. I'm too sad.
Fatality.
Yeah. That's the thing. See, I used to get offered these things, and I used to get offered to have these things sent to me, like a lot of really cheap headsets and headphones and stuff. And I still get the offers, but it's kind of slowed down to a little bit because I never respond to them. And I would have felt bad if I had like gotten the thing for free and then I bashed it up and smashed it up. I wouldn't have felt right about that. But something about spending my own money and smashing things is very cathartic.
Well, that means your money, right? So
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
But
we
it's
got
not doing as well. It's the video is not performing. So people, you're not doing your jobs.
it might catch on later on. You never know.
Uh,
All right, we got a topic to talk about tonight, but we're about to get one of them out the way real quick. This is going to take like 5 minutes, and we're moving on. The iPhone 12 delayed. It's not a question mark, people. I've been telling you all for months the iPhone 12 will be delayed. I don't know why this keep coming up.
this was announced like a long time ago.
Yeah, this is not news.
It's not news. I guess it's more confirmation from different sources that give us a better time frame. So the news was that the iPhone, let's see, let me get to the iPhone 12 will be delayed into Q4 of 2020, and it's based on one of their suppliers. Let's see, Broadcom, that makes the modems and such. for them, is projecting that they won't have that in their portfolio, all that Apple money for Q3. So, and we have like actual statements from people from Chief Executive Officer of Broadcom, Hock Tan, said major product cycle delay.
I don't know about who the hell. I don't know who the hell that is, and I don't really care. The captain of Team Apple has been telling you for the past couple of months now that the iPhone 12 will be delayed. Everybody knows this. We are still in the middle of the Rona. I don't know why people act like the Rona just disappeared. The Rona is still out there. There is no vaccine. Things are still shut down for the most part. The phones are going to be delayed. Get over it. They're not coming in September.
I felt like the headlines were recycled again and just kind of reworded.
This is not new.
Like,
this is
I need something to write. I need something to write about this week, and let's get some.
My God,
you know.
Well, you gotta I mean, at least this is a story that has like a source. A lot of times there's no source. So all I'm saying is, yes, it's we've assumed for a long time, based on all kinds of different information that's come in various forms. This is just a little bit more confirmation from within the pipeline, as it were. And it says here, news corroborates what we've been hearing from other sources like the Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, and Ming-Chi Kuo over the last few months.
Like John Prosser, yes. Like all of us, yes. And when we say Q4, basically they're talking about October, November, December. So right now they're probably going to be out in October. That's the time frame that I've been hearing for the longest time. But they definitely will not be out in September. So now the iPhone event will probably still be in September. I don't know. I don't see any reason why Apple should delay the actual event. But the phones releasing, they're not being released until October. So prepare yourself.
So
go ahead,
Viper. If you could reiterate again, there's 4 iPhone 12s. What are the model names again? Do you know from lowest to tallest? What is it?
Yeah. So we got 2 regular iPhone 12. One is going to be called the iPhone 12, and the other one will be called the iPhone 12 Max. I don't know why they just want to call it iPhone 12 Plus, but whatever. Then you'll have the iPhone 12 Pro.
Max.
What's that?
Now they do Max. They don't do Plus anymore.
Yeah, but the problem is, do you have 2 iPhones with Max in the name, and it gets confusing. So you got the iPhone 12, the iPhone 12 Max, and then the iPhone 12 Pro, and then the 12 Pro Max. So yeah, 4 iPhones coming this year.
The Pro ones, quote unquote Pro ones, use OLED, and the other ones use LCD. Correct?
No, they're all using OLED this year. All of them.
Oh, they're all OLED.
All OLED this year. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So they're all going to be OLED. That much has been all but confirmed.
Yeah.
And let's see. What else do we have? Actually, shoot, I just realized that I just threw this up here, but my merch store is down right now because of the Rona. I guess there's nobody's at work at the fulfillment place that makes the stuff. So I don't know.
Do you use Teespring or do you use something else?
It all goes through my MCN, and I don't know who they use. But yeah, don't forget this is not today's video. See, I've been begging people to watch my videos for a while. Yeah. So here's the thing about the iPhone being pushed back. It's not that big a deal to me.
No,
really.
Not at all.
However, I think if they get in, this is the same problem we had with like the relaunch Galaxy Fold last year, where if they don't get it out before Thanksgiving, or if they get it out anywhere close to Black Friday, then that's like 2 major things smashing up against one another. And I don't know how that would work for anybody.
Wait, what do you mean? What would be smashing up against it though?
Well, you got an iPhone release, which is always a big retail event. Usually it has its own sort of like, whenever the iPhone comes out, nothing else happens.
Correct.
Except for Google tries to launch a phone and they're idiots. So by the time Black Friday starts to come around, it's people have started to shift gears. So it'd be hard for like the iPhone to get all of the attention that it normally gets.
All right. So this year it's going to be different from any other year because of the Rona going on. So people are going to be buying less phones this year than ever before. So they're already playing at a disadvantage. However, even if the iPhone release and push back, I don't think it's going to affect the sales of it that much because, like you said, when iPhone come out, it's iPhone. Nothing else matters. At least here in North America. They could release it in December and it'll still sell like hotcakes. So I don't even think that's going to be a big deal. But
The
Again,
hardcore people are going to put their pre-sales in. They're going to be up at 6 a.m. or whatever it is to order. And
don't even get me started on that. But yeah, the iPhone is going to sell like hotcakes whenever Apple releases it, no matter what. The bigger issue is the Rona and that cutting into phone sales because people are not going to be rushing out to buy the higher tier iPhones at the very least, not the $1,000 model, not with the way people have lost their jobs and things. So that's going to be the biggest factor more than anything else.
Yeah. Well, the thing that's interesting to me, so it's gone back and forth, and I have seen what seems to be credible reports that it's gonna be like the body style is gonna change a little bit, and it's gonna be a little bit different, blah blah blah. But then I read a story late last week that basically said these phones will look exactly like the phones that we have, and one of the iPhone 12s will be bigger.
Yeah.
The main thing is that the notch is not going anywhere. I think a lot of people are hoping for a notchless iPhone. It's not happening. The notch is still going to be here for the iPhone 12. Just don't get your hopes up on about that.
And because there won't be a huge difference. I mean, obviously there's going to be I don't. There's not supposed to be 4 cameras on the Pro, is there, Viper?
We don't know.
It's still 3 cameras, right?
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't even know if I'm, for example, for myself personally, if I would even upgrade my 11 Pro Max. I'm not even sure if there's any point. So, not a big jump.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing too. Is that it's interesting that we're going to have an SE Plus, right? Because or a 12 Plus, because the 11 the 11 is bigger than the Pro.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, are there going to be 2 phones in between the Pro and the Pro Max, or is like a 12 Pro going to be bigger than the Pro Max? I don't know. It's crazy town.
No, actually, Jason. So the iPhone 12 is going to be 5.4 inches.
Oh,
and the iPhone 12 Max will be 6.1 inches. So it's goofy, but yeah, the Pro is the Max is gonna be 6.1 inches, and the 12 Pro Max will be 6.7 inches. So
yeah, now I care even less.
It's goofy.
Now I care even less.
Hopefully, for the person in the chat asking the black dude to speak English, that's enough English for you to understand. There you go.
They're timed out, but we also got a tweet today from John Prosser about what's going to be happening on August 5th for Samsung. So we talked about Apple. Samsung's be having their Unpacked Note event on August 5th with release on the 20th, which means August 5th. You'll watch the virtual thing. Here's all the shiny stuff. And then 20th, things will be released. Note 20 Fold 2 Z Flip 5G.
So Mac Weinbach posted some type of code or something relating to the Fold 2 earlier today. And apparently, there's a possibility that the Fold 2 may be coming to Verizon. And if that's the case, I'm excited.
Yeah, I might actually get one so that I can complain about something that I actually have experience.
I want to see you smash a Fold.
Yeah. Somebody did comment on my video today. It's like, okay, now I want to see a video where you compare the Sennheiser HD 800s against like, you know, the HD 800s are $3,000 headphones or something. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to find like new and more exciting ways to smash things. Like next I'm gonna like drive over it with my car.
Do you have a sledgehammer? I
do.
There you go.
It's a short-handled sledge though.
Oh, well, I mean, still could be fun.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
Do you have any dry ice?
No, but I don't even. Can you even buy dry ice? I don't have any dry ice.
You can dry ice them and then throw them against a hard surface, and
yeah.
Anyway, I've seen that done.
So, Zach,
yeah.
Are you interested in a Galaxy Fold 2?
Not a Fold, but I'm more interested in like the Z Flip. Not necessarily this like because it's 5G. Like who cares? I'm just interested in like the second or third generation of Z Flips coming out. The fold thing. I like the idea. I like the way they've marketed it. Obviously, people that have the fold enjoy it. That's great. But for myself personally, I want to be able to still be able to use one hand with my device. Like I can still use my Note with one hand, even though it can be a little. Whereas with the fold, I mean, you can with one hand, but it's very limited because of how slim it is on the front, right? So, I mean, it's nice that they're making different options, right? Folding tech, right?
Well, supposedly one of the big rumors about the Fold 2 is that front screen is going to be much bigger this year. So if that's the case, then I'm even more excited about it.
Yeah, if the front screen, because it's so narrow right now, if they make it a little bit wider, then that might be, that might get my interest a little bit more. We'll see.
See, to me, the Z Flip is even more useless than the Fold. I mean, the Z Flip is a flip phone. Okay, it's like you want me to pay $1,400 for a flip phone? Really? All it does is flip open, and then you have a screen.
Well, I mean, you could pay $1,400 for a flip phone with autofocus that works, or $1,400 for a slab with autofocus that doesn't work.
Ooh.
I mean, $1,400 is more than we should all no. If the Fold 2 battery power here, no stylus on the Fold 2. If the Fold 2 had a stylus, if the Fold 2 was actually the Note 20, then that would be exciting.
I have a hard time seeing Samsung ever putting a stylus in anything other than a Note device, because the stylus is known for being with the Note with them, like with a Samsung product. You know what I mean? I have a hard time. I can see them saying, here's our Fold 2 and here's a stylus you can buy separately, but I can't see it coming with. Do you know what I mean?
I was talking to people about this earlier this year, and I was excited for the possibility of a stylus with the Fold 2, but my concern was that the Fold screen is already durable. Even that ultra thin glass that they're using on the Z Flip kind of doesn't really hold up all that well. I mean, it's better than the original Fold, but it's still kind of fragile. So my thought process was putting an F pen against that screen and doing stuff day in and day out. Wouldn't that damage that screen? I don't know if that screen is durable enough to sustain the constant use of an F pen. So maybe that's one of the reasons why it will be out.
All I can say is this: I went to Lenovo's booth during CES, and they gave a demo of this laptop that basically is like a giant fold, right? It's like a 13-inch laptop that then unfolds to be like 26 inches, right? And so it's all screen. There is a keyboard accessory that you can put on, and so you have a physical keyboard, but you can also type on the screen. And then it also has stylus support. So they said that the way they had been able to get stylus support is just layer upon layer of like magnesium and a bunch of different materials over top of the screen, so that it would have the strength to withstand the stylus. And I wrote on it. It worked fine. So it's possible they might be benefiting some from the overall size of that device. But
Right.
I think that the big news would be Galaxy Fold 2 is what the the Note 20, and they're the same thing, because Samsung is clearly like they're making too many phones.
That's always been their strategy. They flood the market. That's always been their strategy. But I mean,
can't have worked very well for them this year with the S20. That's all I can say.
Sammy making too many phones. Oh man, that's like their status. That's like their status operandi, modus operandi, whatever.
And then you got OnePlus, who just like goes in a completely different direction. when the market's going, whoa, we don't have any money.
Yeah.
Well, supposedly
OnePlus is coming out with a phone that may cost less than $350.
I read that today. Yeah, I read that.
Yeah. So there's a new OnePlus phone on the way, and yeah.
So this Matt McCourt super chat. He did ask me about this a day or so ago. I don't use a monitor with my MacBook Pro. I don't have any external monitors, so I really don't know anything about this. But if any of you all in the chat have noticed anything with your
That
MacBook?
sounds like the issue that I had with mine when I first got it.
So let me clarify though. Is this you're using an external monitor and have the 16-inch plugged in, or is it the actual monitor that's with that is the laptop monitor? Because I have heard, not necessarily specifically about the 16-inch model, but one thing that has been a recurring problem with MacBooks is the little connection between that goes between the screen and the rest of the motherboard, right?
Yep.
Can sometimes get worked loose, or over time can crack because of usage.
Yeah, he's talking about the ribbon. Yep.
Yeah, that ribbon cable can get messed up.
Yeah,
So it's possible that that's what's happening.
he's talking about an external monitor though. That's what he's talking about.
Okay. Only thing I can say about the external monitors, I've had weird trouble with external monitors in the past. And sometimes it's just like, I don't know why it works or why it doesn't. It just works or it doesn't work. But I will say, like, I just a few months ago got a Dell 34-inch monitor that has a USB-C connection. And this is the first time that I have been able to just like plug it in and it immediately works and everything works. And so I think that there's some stuff about, different companies. Like Zach has had this experience where, the BenQ monitor that he uses is the only one that would really work. And if he upgrades to Catalina, then that'll potentially break that. So yeah, it's I think that's part of it. Now, David Black here says, I got my Pro display a week ago and just got a new 16-inch MacBook Pro. Haven't had any issues, except the fans of the MacBook Pro go nuts if you use it. Yeah, well, I mean, that's the MacBook Pro for you.
Yeah.
I will say though that I had a late 2018 MacBook Pro for a while, and then I got rid of it and got the new, like the first 2019. The late 2018, it was like a jet engine on your desk. It was just whoosh, all the time. I could hear it in microphones. It was really not a good thing. But the 2019 model, 15-inch 2019 model, is not as loud. So
yeah, mine is going kind of loud right now during this live stream, and it always like sounds like a jet engine during live stream. So that's standard MacBook Pro procedures right there.
I'm on my PC right now. My PC just, it purrs away.
Oh, he's claiming that PC master race over there. I see you, Jason.
It purrs, man. I'm telling you. It's once you get the PC to be stable and work the way it's supposed to, it works.
No qualifiers though. Oh my Lord.
Yeah. So, oh man, I do have a bunch of monitors to smash. I have like 3 dead monitors here.
Oh my God.
I could smash the heck out of them.
Lord, y'all giving him ideas.
We had a super chat further up here, and we're kind of going back and forth here in the chat. By the way, if you want to join us on Tuesdays, 8:00 Eastern on the Painful Honest Tech channel here on YouTube, you can be part of the audience and ask questions, this and that, and then the audio portion of this goes out if you're listening right now. Anthony Beltre says, do you think the iPhone 12 Pro is going to have 120 hertz?
No.
My opinion is none of these iPhone 12s will have 120 hertz displays, and this is why. You have to look at Apple's market and who they cater and serve to, and nobody outside of nerds like us care about 120 hertz or even know what that is.
Yeah,
it adds cost and it kills battery.
I don't even care about 120 hertz.
More specifically, Apple has not been able to develop the technology for OLED displays as of yet to include a 120 hertz refresh rate, because what you need to have in place is the ability for the refresh rate to be variable, to fluctuate between 60 hertz, 120 hertz, or 1 hertz, however it is. They have the technology currently on Apple Watch, but for OLED iPhones and OLED displays, that technology, Apple doesn't have it working correctly yet. So there's a big chance that these years iPhones will not have a 120 hertz.
It makes sense for the watch though because of how small the display is though.
Right.
So that makes sense why they would do that because it just be like, have you ever used a 60 hertz like smartwatch? Like it can be painful looking at stuff sometimes, right? So
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've gone back. I've used 120 hertz screens and then gone back to 60 hertz. Sometimes you can see the difference, but it's like if you're looking for it when you're scrolling in certain situations, you can really see it. Gaming is a place where it'd be a bigger deal. But I don't think that a 120 hertz screen is a feature that like should be standard on a flagship smartphone.
I mean, it's possible if like we're seeing some stuff here in the chat. People are saying that they bought panels. That's the first I've ever heard of that. It's possible that they may put it in there and add a software tweak later on so that it can be turned on, kind of like fast charging on when the iPhone 8, for example, and came out, for example, it was first a trickle charge, and then when iOS was updated, it then updated so it could take on 10 watt and stuff like that. So it could be something like that. But
Yeah,
it just seems like a cost that doesn't make sense outside of what Apple caters and serves to.
All right.
Yeah.
So this noob down here talking about we're talking about a 120 hertz refresh rate on Apple Watch. No, we're not. What I was talking about was the Apple Watch having a variable refresh rate. I wasn't saying anything about a 120 hertz refresh rate on Apple Watch. You need to calm down.
Yeah. And honestly, a lot of it has to do with like screen quality as well. I mean, Apple has always done a great job of like tuning their screens so that the screen quality is great. And that's not to say that phones that have 120 hertz screen are leaning on the 120 hertz to look good, but I just don't think that it's as big a feature as people make it out to be.
I've talked about this all year. I think it's kind of overrated, but I think the bigger issue, Jason, is the battery life impact that it would.
Exactly. And what's one of the biggest things that everybody from tech nerds to everyday people talked about with the iPhone 11 last year? Oh my God, the battery life, right? Yep. So why would you compromise that by throwing in 120? Do you know what I mean? Until you can tweak that just right, and you're not, because that's at the list. When people, what are some of the biggest things that people look for when they buy a phone outside of tech nerds? Great display. Do I have to charge it all the time? So battery, and can I get my apps? Right? Those are priorities right there. Battery is one of them, right? You always hear, do you have a charger? Do you have a charger? My phone's almost dead. Right?
Yeah, I think that the two things that non-tech nerds care about are the screen and the camera.
Yep.
Yeah, those are the two things. And they don't care if the camera's got like 1,000 features. They care if the camera, like you open up the camera app and you point it at something and it takes a picture.
99% of people take their out. Exactly. They just point and shoot. Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of coming out, Tech Free Needs is helping me out with reminding us about today's sponsor.
We're only 35 minutes in.
Well, this is a nice halfway point that we can just talk about our sponsor.
Oh my goodness.
That's right. Our sponsor, as always, is Audible. You can go to audibletrial.com/painfully honest tech and get yourself a free month of Audible service. That's 1 free ebook and 2 free Audible originals for the low price of nothing. So if anything else, like just go get yourself a few things to listen to in the car, or like I don't know. What do you do now? Are we still under quarantine? I'm confused.
I don't know. It depends on who you ask. And
I don't know about quarantine, but I think we're still under stay in shelter in place order.
I definitely have to post surgery. They're like, don't go anywhere. And I'm like, no problem.
Exactly. Like I'm staying home. Good.
Yeah. I ordered Starbucks for delivery today. It was great.
Yeah. I guess New York City opened up today in a limited way. And that's pretty remarkable considering New York City was pretty much like the epicenter of, and they had 16,000 people die from Corona in New York City. So once all these protests and everything started, I'm like, I guess we're not doing the coronavirus anymore. Yeah. Like, it's like I couldn't tell if I don't know. Well, I'm anxious to see, and I hope it doesn't happen, but I'm anxious to see if there isn't like a resurgence. They've always said that there will be like
There'll be a second
another
wave.
resurgence, but particularly in the areas that have had those very large protests. The poet says, being in Los Angeles, number 1 is bright screen, number 2 is battery life, number 3 camera, and 4 is a strong modem. Refresh rate is not important. Yeah, if you're living in a larger city, the modems matter a lot, and the battery life matters a lot. And if you're living in Los Angeles where the sun shines all the time, then I guess you have to have that bright screen. You know, rained all day here in Iowa.
Well, I want to talk about something that's not so bright. This is me trying to transition.
Hold on, Zach. Before you do that, so Frank Goodwin says, Queer Viper was raving about the 90 hertz refresh rate on the OnePlus 7 Pro last year. I was raving about the entire experience on that device. That was my first OnePlus device ever, and I was amazed at it, but I just got so bored of it, like after 3 weeks. But I mean, as a person who had never used a OnePlus device before then, it's a pretty good device. It's a solid device.
It wore off after about 3 weeks. I remember that both you and I were like, "Yeah, I'm already done with this."
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an okay phone when I was testing it out. Then I got rid of it, and now whenever I see it, I'm still like, oh man, that like all screen with no interruption. That's a nice look. But using the phone was just really not that exciting.
Yeah. So speaking of the Rona and all that kind of stuff, I don't know if we discussed this last week or if it was after the podcast. Maybe it was on Wednesday or Thursday. There was the people that run CES in Las Vegas have said that, yep, CES 2021 is a go, and the response from the tech community was like, nope. So given what we know now, okay. And it seems like generally, quote unquote, generally, if you're out with a mask and you're hand washing and taking those kind of precautions, given what we know now, Viper and Jason, because I know Viper wants to like badly go. Would you guys go to CES knowing what you know now?
No.
Next year.
HE double hockey sticks. No.
And I want to go. I want to go to CES, but I'm not going next year. Not at all.
I guarantee you, like CES alone impacted the spread of that virus in the United States in a significant way. Think about the people that we know who got significantly ill like around the time of CES. Like,
well, Michael Fisher was, and I don't know if he ever addressed this, but I'm convinced that what he had probably was. Do you know what I mean? Like he was.
Yeah. No, I think it's absolutely true, because I think it was a week or two after CES, Michael Fisher got really sick to the point where he had to go in the hospital, thought he had pneumonia, that kind of thing. So, gee, we know what that sounds like now, but back then, and Flossie Carter was sick and couldn't hardly leave his hotel room.
He was in the hospital on New Year's Eve. Yeah.
Right. So, so I think I don't know.
I'm on the fence, but I'm leaning towards no.
I don't think I'm going anywhere. Like I already was kind of like, I enjoyed going to CES, but I didn't get as much content wise out of it as I was hoping that I would. And I don't think, unless I had somebody there shooting with me, that I would get the kind of stuff that I wanted to get. So then I probably wouldn't go. I'd have to wear pants. Little secret. So when I was shooting my video yesterday,
you weren't wearing pants?
No, I wasn't.
Nobody wears. I asked that question on Twitter. I'm like, creators, do you wear pants? Well, you do. And everybody said, like, it was like 60% yes. And I'm like, you bunch of liars. Nobody wears pants when they're filming from the chest up. I wear pants.
So I was doing some different angles. I had a secondary set where I was doing the unboxings and the smashing, and I had to expand and move around some footage so that people didn't see my boxer shorts, but they're still visible in a couple of places in that video.
Everybody, go back and check.
I'll put this up again. Watch the video. See if you can catch my. checkerboard underwear in there.
But going back to CES, like I would go with the current, restrictions and everything with mask and everything, as long as all my meetings were only in like hotel rooms where I know I'm not going to be around a billion people. And also if it's a go and people are like, no, forget about it, those hallways will not be nearly as busy as, you guys, you saw how it was, Jason. It was
They're
crazy.
not. I'm even wondering how many brands are actually going to show up. Like, why?
Yeah, it's a huge deal, not just for like introducing new products and that kind of thing, but a lot of companies go there, and this is where they make their deals throughout the year for their retail stores or for their supply lines, for whatever it is that they do. So it's a big business thing as well as sort of a showcase for new tech. And I guess a lot of people you'd have to figure something else out. I mean, we cannot have a live in-person Galaxy Note 20 unpacked, right?
Yeah.
We're not.
We can do that and not really lose anything. Trust me.
What is going to take for CES to be completely done? The people that run and everything have said yes, we're going to go, but it's going to come down to a few huge sponsors or huge names that normally go. Like it'll take like BMW to say no, we're not going to be there this year. It'll take like TCL to say no. Their name was on the back of the badges. Imagine if Samsung or LG pulled out of that. Forget about it. Right?
Viper is not really into the whole space thing, but okay.
It's the final frontier. Don't you know that?
It is true though that somebody pointed this out to me last week that the SpaceX astronauts were using Android devices.
Although I have heard this theory that everything that Elon Musk has done in his life so far has geared towards living on Mars. Like apparently Tesla is just a front to like be able to move around on Mars. Obviously, the SpaceX program is for getting to Mars, and kind of a weird theory, but
I thought it was cool to watch that. That was the first launch in 9 years off of American soil, and watch it with my kids and everything. So it was fun.
Yeah, I'm glad it happened, but I got honestly like I couldn't be bothered to like stop whatever I was probably taking a nap, and just was I'm glad it happened, but I don't know. Maybe I still have residual PTSD from watching the Challenger launch. And
did you watch that live when it happened?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
I remember because I believe I was at a buddy of mine's girlfriend's house. I think school had been canceled because of snow or something. For some reason, we were at their house. Maybe it was just lunchtime. I don't know. And we had it on the TV, and all of a sudden, it was just like, poof.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, what?
That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, that was not good.
Yeah.
So maybe I just have some residual PTSD from that. And I gotta say, I can't, like, if an airplane flies over my head, I get really freaked out. Really freaked out.
You wouldn't want to live in my old house. We were like right by the airport.
Yeah, it's it's just the 9/11 thing just totally ruined airplane in the sky for me. Airplane in the sky is like death.
Yeah.
So
now, if you want to know something that Viper's really gonna be interested in, you guys, in 2 weeks we got WWDC, and I will be locked and glued into that, baby. So
yeah, we will have WWDC. Do we all have to have like our individual memojis to attend? Is that how it's supposed to work?
It's a virtual thing, isn't it? It'll just be online.
I mean, I've made my memoji.
Yeah.
I made videos on the subject, so if you haven't made your memoji yet, go check out my channel.
Yeah, so but not only one interesting thing that came out in Bloomberg today from Mark Gurman is that Apple plans to announce the move to its own chips for the Mac, for the computer lines at WWDC.
Yeah.
Will that bring down costs? No.
Bring down costs. What are you talking about?
No. It'll bring up profits for them. Yeah. That's what it is.
So the subheads here, the little bullet points of information is company readies Macs for next year without Intel processors. Apple is holding virtual WWDC, as we just said, the 22nd of this month.
Okay.
And so that's, to me, everybody's like, well, oh my God, how's that going to work? I'm interested to see how it works, but I think it's going to be fine. I think it's going to be fine.
So
And I think
here's the
Apple's going to be able to solve a lot of the problems that they've had with Intel, just by going with their own brand.
Yeah. So here's the thing about that. For the longest time, the argument was that for the price you pay for a Mac device or a MacBook or whatever, you can get a PC that's a lot more powerful for the same price. Once Apple starts making an ARM chip for MacBook, it's over with. That argument is done because if it's anything like how they're running roughshod in the mobile space with iPhones and iPads, their ARM chips on their MacBooks are going to crush anything that's happening on the PC side with Intel, and the price is going to be more than justified and then some. I mean, hell, they might be able to jack up the price if the chip performance is that much more superior to the Intel chip. So this might completely change the game for Apple. Well, we'll have to see how it works out, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think those first models, things will be fraught with some nervousness, I'm sure, because one thing about the Intel chips, Apple's always been sort of stuck with whatever Intel gives them. You know, if Intel is barely making any kind of really, if one chip to the next is barely an update at all, Apple has to deal with that. They have to work with them as a third party manufacturer, so it's another thing that they have to deal with in the supply line. I think, and don't forget that Apple used to make the chips for their computers before, like the Power Macs.
Okay, yeah.
And all of those, they all were proprietary chips that Apple made themselves.
All right, I'm gonna jump in here real quick because I just got a tornado warning. So if I disappear, that's probably why.
Well, let's hope not.
Yeah,
I mean,
real.
Do you have your ruby red slippers?
No. I'm gonna retreat to a non-tornado safe area.
Yeah. The Poets is talking about the Samsung Galaxy Book S has a Snapdragon chip, and yeah, I've heard that that's very fast as well. So it's going to be interesting to see, especially once we have computing devices that are working on the same basic architecture as our mobile devices. Like, things might get very interesting.
Viper just got up and left.
He's looking outside to see if they're Viper. I'll tell him when he gets it. Get your headphones on. I'll tell you how to know if there's a. All right, I'm going to tell you how to know if there's actually a tornado coming. If you hear something that sounds like a giant freight train coming in your direction, that is a tornado, and you should run.
Well, right now we got a bunch of rain. It's like raining like cats and dogs outside. But
yeah, I have to admire though that your pants tonight, Viper, match the wire on your headphones. Way to go, buddy!
Just a little bit.
Yeah, so because I've been in a tornado before, big tornado, tore the heck out of Iowa City the second year that I was here, and almost like destroyed my apartment. It was crazy. So Sneed Mobile Tech, thank you for the $5 super chat for the new monitor. For those of you who watched the video on the Q20 and Beats, you'll know that I broke my MSI monitor, 34-inch MSI gaming monitor that I bought back in like December. And so I have replaced it. I have replaced it with a 24-inch G-Sync Dell, like fancy pants gaming monitor.
Dell still does monitors?
Dell makes the best monitors, man.
Oh, okay. I got a Dell. What was the line for Dells before? I'm getting a Dell, man, or something like that. Was it? Like,
Yeah, I don't know that people really care about their computers all that much anymore. Yeah. You know, I think that breaking things is going to be a much bigger part of my channel as the year and time goes on, because you know, why not?
It get quite expensive. Okay, speaking of breaking things, we're gonna transition. Let's talk about what's happening over on the streaming platform Twitch.
The Twitch.
So who wants to give the summary? Like I think Jason, you probably read more about it than I have.
Well, basically, the news came down today that Twitch, and there's a good article on this in The Verge, if you want to check it out. In fact, I can drop the I'll drop the link here in the chat if it'll let me. No, it won't let me.
Okay, so what?
So anyway, on Twitch, you're the people who watch your channel. They can make their own clips with music that they choose and everything else, and it's not there, like it lives on the creator's channel, but it's not created by the creator, right? So I guess all of a sudden the recording industry, arts people, the RIAA,
Recording Industry of America, yeah.
yeah, they just decided to issue copyright strikes or copyright
DMCA
claims,
Yeah.
I guess, for all of the stuff that uses copyright protected music.
Yeah.
So Twitch's terms of service is if you get 3 strikes of any kind, you're out.
Like
permanently.
YouTube.
Like YouTube. But I don't think that they ever really intended to. I don't think they ever really thought that there would be a problem where content created by third parties would impact the creators.
Well, there's also cases of creators on there. Let's say they did a stream. Like one of the most popular categories on there is just chatting, where people they're just chatting with the chat, and let's say they're playing like Prince in the background. Okay, so they're playing Prince in the background. Now, normally that's what happens with that stream, is that section with Prince or whatever copyright music is muted. But if the creator, or like you said, a third party, like someone who's watching, takes a clip of that and reposts it, there's not much they can do. Unfortunately, Twitch does not have the tools in place, so creators can find all the clips that may have copyright music and just remove them themselves to get ahead of this, because they've already gone ahead and done like a first wave. I was reading tweets about guys and gals on there they're going back 5 or 6 years on there, and channel's gone, poof, because they have like over 500 plus clips and everything like that on there. Crazy.
The thing is, like, I imagine that, I mean, if they've been on Twitch for 5 years and they have hundreds of clips, they're also probably an entity that's been, bringing in some money for Twitch. So it's in Twitch's best interest to work this out and to reinstate the channels and try and figure out a way to comply with the copyright stuff.
Yeah.
It's just kind of interesting because Twitch, I mean, you can still go on Twitch in a live stream and listen to whatever you want while you're playing a game. It might just be, the sound might just be muted when you get, like, in the playback that's cached and released later, which is weird, which is weird, but I always kind of like that. I was kind of like, okay, good. There's some place where we can, because I think I just want to have a radio show. That's really what
I've done a couple of streams on there. I did a couple of streams on there where I went through the entire Versus or 10 album from Pearl Jam, playing the music. And of course, when I went back and played it later on, like, it's entirely muted and it's just me talking.
The
right?
big thing about Twitch is they don't really enforce their rules equally across the platform. Usually bigger creators and things like that, they get away with stuff. And sometimes women get away with things that men wouldn't get away with on Twitch. So they don't really enforce their rules unilaterally across the platform. So
not even just that, but like going back to the music stuff. I mean, like Jason said, 3 strikes you're out kind of thing. And even those rules have been there all the time. They've just done mass mutings, everything like that. And now, because of RIAA and actual court documents and everything, poof, right? And it's
Yeah.
like, if you guys had properly enforced this in the past and giving creators the tools so they could remove things or get a strike system going so people would smarten up like they do on YouTube, maybe people wouldn't be losing their channels.
The big issue though is that for the longest time, Twitch was the wild, wild west. It's the way YouTube used to be. Nobody was paying attention to Twitch, but now Twitch used to probably spike since this pandemic, and now more eyes are on Twitch. So I guess the RIA is like, all right, we got to shut this stuff down now. So I guess I read that any music that was used between like 2017 and 2019, they are locking that down now. So yeah, and like Zach said, Twitch doesn't really have any measure for creators in place to take care of this stuff in mass. I mean, you got creators that have been on the platform for years that have like hundreds of videos and streams on there. How are they supposed to go back and delete all that stuff if you can't do it in bulk? It's crazy.
Have you ever tried to delete a bunch of stuff on YouTube? It's not that easy either.
No, it's not.
I mean, you can't just do a select all and like private all your videos. You have to like, you can do it maybe page by page, maybe TubeBuddy can help you do it. I don't know. But Twitch has always been a front end service. Like it's about live stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't need to have a big infrastructure in the background for all of the back end care of the stuff that came after the live stream. It was just about the live stream. But I think I saw a statistic that said live streaming, both watching and live streaming itself, has gone up by some just astronomical percentage since the Rona.
I believe it. More people at home.
I mean, you can't get a cam link on Amazon. You can't get webcam hardly right now. So yeah.
No, when I do my Amazon streams, a lot of times I will look to see Logitech has 0 webcams available on Amazon right now. 0. And Logitech is the #1 maker of webcams. Now there are a lot of webcams on there now that are cheap Chinese products that who knows what kind of support they have, or if the software is any good or anything like that. But yeah, you could there are third parties on Amazon charging $300 for Logitech C920s.
Mm-hmm.
So the Elgato Camlink 4K on Amazon right now is $260. This is the thing that's usually $130, people. Yeah, it's real.
Yeah. And don't pay that.
Yeah, don't do that.
I have like 4 or 5 C920s over here.
I've got one right here that sits here throughout the stream, and I never,
Yeah. So you know what? Let's pull it back in transition, because I want to talk about a topic that's been kind of covered a little bit recently here. Jason, I'm curious to get your thoughts on the what the hell's the name of it? What the hell's that dude's name? The Escobar phones that are being given to top reviewers. Jason, what are your thoughts on this? Because this stuff is crazy.
Did we lose Jason?
Jason's frozen. I think we lost Jason.
He's either having a seizure or he's frozen.
He's frozen. All right, Zach. So until Jason gets back, you're up. What do you think about this Escobar scheme?
Okay. Truth. I actually emailed them asking for a phone because I just want to see if they would give me one. Right.
Did you get a response?
I did not get a reply, but they opened the email 7 times. Because I got a tracker on there. Oh, Jason completely disappeared.
Maybe he's in a tornado, man. I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
It is now the Zach and Viper show, people. What's up?
We've taken over the Painfully Honest Tech channel. This is amazing. I emailed them and asking, okay, so here's the thing that bugs me about the whole Escobar thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, do not buy it, because the only way you can get it is by doing like a hokey, either Bitcoin type transfer or whatever, right? And then nothing shipped to you. The only people they're actually shipping things to are influencers.
Yep.
But then you have these influencers, and I love these people. Like I love Marquez, I love Mr. Who's the Boss, and Lou, and they're still doing content on it. It's like, no, you should like not even. Do you know what I mean? Right? Like,
well, I think they just want to make people aware that you should not buy this device, even though idiots will probably still try and buy one anyway.
But here's the thing: just by getting the name out there, what's the saying? Bad press is good press, like all press is good press, kind of thing, right? Mm-hmm. That's the way I guess I kind of see it. I'm like, oh, why are you even giving this attention? Why are you even giving this attention? So
Yeah.
I think it's amazing how they took refurbished or returned and then
How is that? My
sticker on
question
it.
is, how is that legal though? How can they legally do that?
I don't know. I mean, did you see the one with Mr. Who's the Boss where he's literally pulling it back and it says Samsung? Like they didn't even try to remove it. They
No, they just put paint on it or whatever. That was it.
yeah, they just put that thick sticker on it and away you go. The packaging looks nice, like the box and everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I'd keep that to put like cigars in or something. Right? But like what's the end game here? You can't be moving, you can't be getting enough orders to make this really profitable, can you?
I don't know, man. I mean, I think with Marquez, I think he was talking about possible money laundering, but I don't even think it's that. I don't know.
Like, but there's you would want to do enough money to make it worth it for
Right.
You don't do it for like 10,000, 30,000. You know, you want to cash in, 500,000 plus, right? So
I don't know, but if any of you all in the chat have been thinking about possibly getting one of these Escobar devices, don't do it. Just don't do it.
Yeah, no, it should be interesting to see what the end game is like because I don't understand what it is. So sorry, give me a second here. I'm just checking. I'm gonna message. Okay.
Oh, he's down. The show is ours. Jason is out for now. He's down, so the show is ours.
Now here's the thing: if we both leave the studio, does the stream keep on running?
I think so.
I think it does.
Wow, Jason has been kicked out of his own podcast. All right, y'all. Well, luckily, me and Zach being on here is normal. So I mean,
let's start playing copyright music and see. No. Okay. So what else was on the menu? Like I put some topics up today. So we talked about CES.
I think we talked about everything in the. Well, we talked about all the links that Jason posted. Yeah.
OnePlus. Was there anything fun on Twitter today?
Not really. All right, so if I heard you correctly, though, you said that you will not be going to CES 2021 if there even is a CES 2021. Well, there is, but
I'm on the fence, but I'm leaning towards no.
Oh yeah, you're on the fence, but yeah, I'm of the mindset that it is just way too early to be having mass gatherings right now. Mm-hmm. We're not there yet.
I think, like I said, I think it's going to take a few huge sponsors or huge names to say, you know what, no thanks. And the CTIA people will say forget about it, right? So
although Marquez made a very interesting point on Twitter a few days ago that I agree with. Marquez said something to the extent of that humanity's greatest weakness or greatest strength and greatest weakness is longing to be together.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of, I mean, the way that people are, it's kind of like some areas of the U.S. are like they don't even care about the Rona no more. They're out there like Florida. The Florida beaches are like flooded and packed. We got restaurant parks. They're packed. Like people just don't care anymore. They're just ready to get out and about.
The main reason I went to CES, or I love going to CES, is it's not so much the tech. It's the networking, like seeing you and seeing Jeff and hanging out, right? Mm-hmm. So I mean, I'll give you an example. Michael Fisher, I think he touched the floor of the convention center once in 4 days. All his meetings were in hotels. Right, they're all one-on-one, and then he's out at night at the parties and the different dinners and everything like that. So, $1.99 battery powered. We can't even highlight you. Can't even highlight you. Can't even.
Yeah, we can't highlight him. Oh, he's back.
I'm back. Oh, the show is now optimized. I see how it is, battery powered. I see. Uh-huh.
How you're gonna have to pull the audio from the recording? Because yeah.
I'm using my recording, which won't have.
Did you lose power? Did you lose power?
No, my internet just went out.
You gotta pay a bill.
It's been raining here all day, so weird stuff might be happening. But my internet went out, and so I had to reboot my modem and router.
Text 702 finding a new host fund. $9.
So, Jason, before we were rudely interrupted, I was asking you your opinion about the Escobar phones.
I don't know. They're stupid. I can't see. Okay. Let me try and put it into a different context. So that we can understand how ridiculous it is that anybody would even think about buying an Escobar phone, right? Pablo Escobar, well, not Pablo Escobar, he's dead. his family, the guy and his brother or cousin or whoever it is that takes care of his stuff, decides that they're going to start selling cars, right? Are you going to buy an Escobar like car?
Does it come with a trunk full of cocaine?
I mean, it might.
Because I could probably flip that. I could probably flip that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a, but it's just so out of left field. The whole idea of buying a phone from the Escobar family, and then we find out that they're just like Galaxy Folds with like gold tape over them.
See, I emailed them asking them for a phone. They opened my email 7 times. I bet you at your size, at your channel size, because they look at sub numbers. I bet you could email them and get it. You should email them, Jason. Get it and freaking smash it. Smash it.
I knew something. I'll do that for
Dude,
you.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yes,
Do it. Do it.
Oh, God.
I might. I might just do it. Yeah,
That is hilarious.
Do it.
See, Alan.
Just be aware.
What's going on? Alan knows what's going on.
Just be aware that they have a job title in their organization called the Chief of Assassination. So just be aware of that. Be careful with that.
Well, I mean, if they want to come to Iowa, we can throw down.
It's giving me no Escobars in Iowa. Forget that noise.
Yeah, that's one good thing about living in Iowa. Not many people are going to come here. My family won't come here, let alone Escobar's assassins. I can't tell you like, well, my mom's older and has health issues now, but like she came to visit. We've lived here 15 plus years. She visited one time for my grad school graduation.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no reason to come to Iowa. The summer is humid and awful, and the winter is brutal and freezing cold. I mean,
You're a terrible ambassador for your home.
that's not really. This is not home. Yeah, well, if the Escobar people are driving an Escobar car up I-80 to come get me, then the Escobar car is probably just gonna, it's gonna run out of gas before it crosses the Illinois line.
you know that he wanted to see D-Nim and drop an Escobar phone from his motorcycle. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier today on my podcast. How he dropped his iPhone 7 from his motorcycle and got ran over.
Yeah, we have. So one of the most popular pizza places is a gas station here in Iowa called Casey's.
Okay.
As Matt McCord says. And then I think the largest chain of gas stations in Iowa is called Come and Go. It's spelled K-U-M and G-O.
It's a family show, folks. It's a family show.
Wow! Oh Lord, what is happening here? Wait, oh wow, we just lost control of the podcast.
Rashid is right. The Escobar car would just be a Tesla painted gold. I like that.
Oh, D Nimitz said he would. He'll do it. What's up, D?
Well, see, D's in the chat. I thought he was going to come hang out with us.
Yeah, if he doesn't want to come on, that's fine. That's fine. Whatever. We can handle this.
Oh man,
The attitude.
oh whew, man.
Yeah, but no, I can't. The Escobar phone, like when I saw the marketing materials, have you guys actually like gone to their website and stuff?
Oh, it's crazy with the commercials and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, with all these women in bathing suits and just it's sleazy,
Yeah.
gross. And I'm just like, why?
I don't think they care. They
And they
don't
also
care.
purchased a bunch of URLs like Apple's Done or something like that, and
and our RIP RIP Samsung.com.
RIPSamsung.com. Yeah.
I think probably it's some kind of weird tax thing or something. It's got to be something, or they're all coming to the States with some kind of illicit materials inside.
This is the official announcement that the Illuminati is about to raid this podcast.
That's
So
right.
I just went to ripsamsung.com and it redirects you to escobarinc.com/product/full
Shocking.
/full 2, and it says, "Oops, that page can't be found."
Both,
Like
really?
it's their own page. Here, I'll share my screen. Let me show you guys this.
Samsung probably shut that down since they're about to release the Fold 2. They're like, oh no,
check this out. So
I'm not
this
doing
is
that.
so here, I'll put it again. ripsamsung.com, right? It's the actual Escobar Inc. website.
Oh,
But look at the address, product/fold2.
oh yeah, Samsung's not about to have any of that.
Yeah. It's yeah, not good.
T-Row Moon probably was like, get rid of it immediately. Get rid of it.
But Samsung has their own problems. The heir to the Samsung fortune is perhaps going to get arrested for the second time at least for some sort of misdealings with money type stuff. I guess I didn't realize that he had already spent a year in jail. But yeah, that's another news story that I saw today that I thought was maybe a little bit too sort of esoteric for the show.
I'm sorry, Jason. Is that really a gas station chain called Come and Go? Is that for real?
It is, yes, it is. Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. Let me regain my composure real quick.
I'll just show you.
Oh God. No, I
Take a picture for us next time you go get gas.
I believe you.
Here's their website.
All righty.
Cool, better come and go.
At least it looks family friendly.
They got a rewards thing. They got to be legit.
Yeah. Yeah, look at this. People, you can find a store. They got lots of stores.
Who the hell thought that was a good idea? No. Oh boy.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a good idea. And no, it's not a good idea.
Oh my God, no.
Okay, the podcast is now entered M.
No,
Somebody had to go there, I guess.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
I used to go when I was drinking and I was in grad school. I used to go to the Come and Go to get like those frozen microwavable hamburgers that were terrible.
They're good when they're good when you're hosed.
Yeah, I know, but I'm surprised I'm not dead.
Hey, I know that guy.
I'm not used to seeing without a hat on.
I regret to inform you, I was sent by the Escobar family.
Oh,
And Jason, yes, we are coming to Iowa. Just you got a 4-hour head start. do with that as you will, my friend.
I'll hunker down here. I'll get my security cameras up, and I'll get my. I actually have a gift from an old roommate, a +1 axe handle.
There you go.
Yeah, so
That would be.
that's all I need. +1 damage on the axe handle.
Yeah, there you go. I used to hang out, but before I moved to Thailand, I actually almost moved to Cartagena, Colombia. Believe that or not, I used to spend a lot of time in Colombia. So that whole crazy thing, the whole cartel stuff back in the day, that was always like kind of weird.
Yeah, I still haven't finished Narcos. Season 1.
I can never get into that show.
I enjoy it when I'm watching it, but then I don't feel compelled to watch it anymore. So, I don't know. But supposedly, Narcos Mexico is supposed to be much better. That's what I've heard.
So
I liked them both. Yeah, we finished them both. I like them both.
So in case people are wondering who the new voice is, or if you're here on the watching us live, we now are being joined by D. Nimmin, the master of mobile creation. I just thought of that right now.
That rolls off the tongue nicely. I'll take it. Thank you.
He does content. His content on YouTube is mobile creation. So creating online content, using your mobile device, so your cell phone, your Android, your iPhone. It could be a tablet, and the various different apps and the accessibility that's available now, and how you can do awesome content with just the phone in your pocket.
Don't
pocket.
forget, he is one half of the Illuminati.
Yeah, one half.
Summed up, I help mobile content creators succeed on YouTube. So if you have a phone, you want to be a YouTuber, that's what I do.
Boom.
I've got like 8 phones. Can you help me?
Jason, I heard you're smashing stuff now.
Yeah.
Can we
it's
smash something? Can you break something for me?
come to that. Let me see if I
It's
got it.
come to that. It's come to that. I hear you. It's come to that.
I don't have anything close that I could smash except for my iPad. And
Today's video, he smashed two headphones. It was pretty
Yeah.
entertaining.
Oh.
Pretty entertaining.
Yeah, so the new series is called Cash or Smash. Like I got 3 gaming headsets from Amazon, $40 each. And I did a little shootout where I decided which one was worth the cash and the other 2 I smashed. So that's the new thing.
So D's currently in an Airbnb in Mexico because he can't fly home to Thailand since everything shut down since March. Is that how long it's been, dude?
Yeah. It's a weird thing to say, to actually say, I'm stuck in Mexico. Because usually when it's like, help, I'm stuck in Mexico, it's usually something really terrible. Like you've been to Tijuana, you woke up, you're missing half of your clothes, you're missing a kidney, hell, I'm stuck in Mexico.
You're in some kind of like Adobe prison cell.
Exactly. But this time it's actually pretty cool. We're in La Paz, Mexico, which is in southern Baja. It's a real chill little place. They're doing okay with the virus. It's not too bad here, but I can't go home. I'm stranded.
So you said you're in an Airbnb. So how does that work? Do they give you like some type of weekly, monthly rate, or how does that work exactly?
We usually rent them by the month, but we had a crazy situation because they have a very strict quarantine happening right here. And when our last Airbnb ended, because of the laws that they passed for the Airbnb or for the quarantine, hotels and Airbnb actually had to close by law. So when our last Airbnb ended, he was like, "You guys got to go." So we were struggling to find someone who would actually take us in. We were like, "Man, we're going to be homeless." So it got down to the wire 2 days before we had to leave the other one. I was able to hook up with somebody who was able to get this place for us, and they broke the law for us. But yeah, here we are.
Nice.
I
Wow.
was about to be homeless in Mexico.
Jeez.
Probably one of those, hey, I'm missing a kidney. Help me.
and your brother Nick, is he still back in Thailand?
He made it back to Thailand. Yes, he made it back to Thailand, and they've closed their borders.
Okay. Yeah.
Flights canceled, borders closed, all of that.
So that's the issue: is that the borders in Thailand are closed. It's not that you can't get out of Mexico. It's just that, yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, my flight canceled.
Yeah.
They'll rebook
okay.
my flight. So the flight's canceled, and Thailand has closed the borders. They're saying they might open it up in October. Who knows?
So you can't even fly into the United States to family.
Well, the plot thickens. My girlfriend is Chinese. She has a Chinese passport, so she can't get in.
Oh, jeez.
So we're kind of like painted into a corner here. We're literally
China.
stuck.
Well,
China.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you
China.
got married,
Yes.
then I'm just saying that's
It's
enough.
complicated. It's complicated.
Relationship talk with PhD.
Yeah.
Serious complication, no doubt.
I will say though that I've been with my wife since 1991, so we're going on 30 years, baby.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
How did you do it? How do you pull that off?
Well, I drank for the first 20 of them,
Makes sense.
and then now I just white knuckle it every day.
Very cool.
So
We gotta stop with this laughing. It's not good for my incision.
Keith Ron asks, "Has anybody seen Jern from Front Page Tech?"
He tweeted today. Yeah.
He tweeted today. Okay, that's good.
He's still alive.
Yeah, I
He's right there.
Oh my lord! Oh, classic germ, man.
there you go. There you go. You ask and you shall receive. on
Literally,
the Honest Tech podcast.
Jeez, that's freaky, man.
that is freaky.
Yeah.
That's freaky. We got a new member here. Retethered Tech level 1 wizard. Welcome. Oh.
Yes, science.
That's right. That's right. There you go.
He just came out of nowhere. He just
Well,
appeared like a wizard.
It says Jern is missing, isn't missing. Oh, okay. I was excited there for a second.
No.
You're bad. You're bad.
Free Tethered Tech, thank you for the membership. Much appreciated. For all you folks who are members, I have plans. I've cut down to 2 videos a week. And I have plans to be able to sort of do some more stuff with the membership. So thank you for your support. The stuff is coming. But yeah, 2 videos a week is what I'm down to now. Because I was doing like 3 or 4, and that's exhausting.
You're going insane.
Yeah.
What D? What do you pace yourself at for content creation during the week? Do you have a number? Do you have days that you want to?
Okay. Well, I haven't uploaded anything since everything kind of broke loose in the U.S. I don't know. I feel off right now.
Yeah.
I feel off. So I'm just kind of like, I've paused for the moment. But generally speaking, I try to upload once a week. I went up to 3 times a week. And like Jason said, it was just a grind. It was too much. And it was great at first, but it's just a nonstop grind. So then I brought it down to 2 a week. And then I eventually went down to 1 a week. But what I mostly do in terms of like where I upload is I look at my real-time views, my 48-hour real-time views. And anytime it drops below a certain threshold, I upload, and it kind of kicks it back up, right? And it starts to drop down, then I upload again, and it kicks the views back up.
Data-driven.
So it's kind of like stepping on the gas a little bit.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the best way, but it's been working for me, and it's allowed me to keep my sanity instead of stressing out too much about trying to keep a schedule. I don't know how John does it. Daily front page tech grinds.
He hasn't actually. I don't think they've. I think it's been close. It's been close to 2 weeks since I think Front Page Tech has posted something.
Yeah.
But then again, Front Page Tech is very topic based. Like, he just finished doing all those Apple leaks, and then the word got out that people are asking around like, who's talking to John? So yeah.
And the funniest thing where he was just like, "Sorry, Tim," with that tweet. Sorry, Tim. That was so good.
Yeah, you got to watch out for that germ, man. That germ to get you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been doing at least 3 videos a week since like mid 2016.
Man, that's a grind.
And it was working really well for a while, and then it seemed to just be diminishing returns. And I don't know, it's like something happened at the beginning of this year where my views just tanked. Like,
I remember seeing you post about that.
Yeah. And it's like I'm slowly crawling back up, but I don't know what happened, but it's been very stressful 6 months for sure.
Yeah, because you went full time. You stopped your other job to do this, and then took a hit. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, my ad revenue is holding steady. It's climbed back up a little bit. But I'm actually doing better with affiliate stuff in some places and that kind of thing. So, and also sponsorship stuff is coming in like just enough to kind of keep things rolling. So it's not been that bad. And because of the Rona, I mean, I never leave the house. I haven't spent. I think I've used my bank card 3 times since the whole quarantine happened. So
wow,
yeah. Another thing that's helped is that I've been doing streams on Amazon, and so I have been buying a lot of stuff on Amazon. So yeah, it's weird, but I can't figure it out, and right now it's just like I'm gonna pull it back, and I'm gonna try and do like make the best content I can make, and I feel really good about the stuff that I'm doing right now. But there's just no way to know what happened. Because like my last video of 2019 and my first video of 2020 both went over 100K views, and then like nothing. So I blame CES. My channel got coronavirus from CES.
You work with Roberto, right?
I've been working with Roberto. I'm also doing some work with Daryl Eves right now too.
Okay, I was going to say, yeah. What do they say about it?
The basically YouTube there are tiers, and when your channel performs to a certain level, then they bump you up to a tier, and so I think I've been dropped down a tier because I had a dry spell there in January where I wasn't really putting out very many videos. And so I think I just got dropped down. So now I've got to ramp it back up again. So, but it's also stuff like I didn't keep the content balanced enough. I was doing phone stuff, mostly commentary, mostly trying to make people mad. And after a while, I hadn't been doing reviews. I hadn't been doing other stuff. So it was just kind of like, I didn't balance the channel right. So I need to be doing videos that I can still do the commentary. I can still talk about phones, but there's other stuff that I need to do with the channel to keep it balanced and keep people coming back. So it's been, even if it was, I don't know if for whatever reason that it happened, it's made me kind of like think about the channel harder than not than I had been, but it's made me think about like what kind of content I want to make and go from there.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You segmented your audience by doing all those different things.
Yeah.
Like
the channel used to be gaming headsets and audio, and then I transitioned to doing phones, and then phones turned into the commentary sort of news related or stuff. And there's just not enough going on to be that narrowed in your focus. Like, it got to a point at a certain point where I could make a video about an iPhone and get good views, but nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Now nobody watches my iPhone videos. So next iPhone will be lower in price due to the coronavirus, Joseph.
That's the SE 2020. It's already done.
Yeah, the SE. I don't know. That's a good question. People always kind of rag on Apple for their high prices, but Apple's prices have actually stayed roughly the same each year since the iPhone 10, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right there, Captain of Team Apple?
Yeah. The iPhone 10 started the whole $1,000 price point, but yeah, ever since then they pretty much stayed where they are.
Yeah. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I don't know how I honestly don't know how I feel about 4 iPhone 12s. I
seems like a lot.
Yeah.
Apple becoming Samsung. What are we doing?
I mean, is it that there's a real cry for smaller phones, and that's why? Because it sounds to me in terms of size, the only thing that's getting smaller is the iPhone 12, and the iPhone 12 Plus is going to be the same size as the iPhone 11 and 10R.
Correct.
So, I mean, I would think that making it bigger would be the thing, because that's what usually gets people excited when things are bigger, right? But I guess there are a lot of people who really like the smaller phone.
I like a smaller phone.
Yeah. So let's talk to our buddy D.
The size of the 7 and the 8 for me, perfect size. That's my favorite size. I can do everything with one hand. I don't have to change the keyboard. It easily fits in a pocket. It's lighter. I mean, I've got the 11 Pro right now. It's right on the edge of being too big.
Yeah.
So
D, right on the edge.
So D, would you consider getting the iPhone 12 this year, the one that's going to be a little bit smaller?
The only way I'm going to upgrade is if they bring back Touch ID.
There's been some talk on that front, but I don't know that we're going to see it.
Apple, I mean, as far as I see it, like the camera is already fantastic in the 11 Pro. Like it's fast, it's fancy. Like I can't justify spending the price to upgrade unless they give me the one thing that they took away from me, and that's the Touch ID. I'm not a fan of the Face ID. I wear a motorcycle helmet when I'm driving my motorcycle in Thailand. Now you're wearing a mask every day. It's just like, it doesn't work that well in the dark, but Touch ID, man, I want it. So whenever they come back with the Touch ID, I'm on it. Whatever version that is.
Well, the new SE is basically the 8 with oh, now my computer wants to restart. Jeez. So okay, that is one of the things about Windows that's really annoying. No matter what you tell it,
Forced update.
it will want to update in the middle of something that you're doing.
Yeah.
I don't miss that at all. I don't miss that at all.
At least now it tells you that it's thinking about doing it.
Yeah.
It's like I'm thinking about shutting down.
Well, Jathan, there's a simple solution to that problem.
Go over to my Mac station over there.
You go. Don't use Windows. There you go. There you go. Don't use Windows.
I got to tell you though, I mean, for streaming and other such things, Windows is sometimes more of a pain, but much more sort of robust in what you're able to do. Like, I couldn't stream Call of Duty Warzone on the Mac. So there's a give and take. I wish that I could say, you know what, I'm only doing X. And I spent a whole year going back and forth between the two operating systems, and really wanted to simplify my life and say I'm only going to use this. And I couldn't do it.
I remember we had the conversation.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. There's some stuff that I can't not do on Macs.
You did a whole series of videos where you were going back and forth.
I know, and people hated it.
Oh yeah, you triggered quite a few people.
People hated like the fact that I couldn't decide if I was going to stick with one or the other.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, I mean, for me intellectually, one thing that was really interesting about it is when I first learned creative stuff, like graphic design, music production, those kinds of things, you could only do it on a Mac.
Yeah,
that's how I started.
Yeah. So I learned all those things on the Mac, and all of those things sort of grew up and matured around the Mac operating system. And so, yes, now they're ported over to Windows, but it's still just not the same. It's like the OnePlus font thing. I hate the fonts in the OnePlus phones. Whenever I see a recording program, a digital audio workstation program in Windows with like the really squared off like lines and stuff, it makes me just kind of go, it's very strange. It's very strange. It makes me feel weird. But I will say that my PC has the power to stomp all over my MacBook thrice over. And I didn't pay anywhere near what I paid for the MacBook for this to build this PC. So there's that. You can get a lot of power for a third of the money. But the MacBook Pro, the iMac Pro that I had before that, when it comes to the things that I use Macs for, just smooth as butter all the time. And now that I've like not switched systems for a while, I've had this computer and that computer, and they've both been sitting there doing their own things. Everything is pretty stable. Like I can get on and do live streams here at the PC, and I don't have to worry about something not working. And then I can go and edit my videos on the Mac and not have to worry about anything working. So there's a lot to be said for the whole idea that once you have a functioning system, like never replace, never replace anything, never tear it down, never change it. Like there are recording studios that still use like Mac Pros from 2005, and versions of Pro Tools that are 10 years out of date because they built their whole studio around that, and the cost and potential loss of time and business could be really detrimental. So
I I have 2 PCs in our streaming studio where we do Nim and Live. One of them is a dedicated streaming computer, and another one is a dedicated video editor. Nothing else goes on them. Like nothing. It's like they work. They're unless you're forced into an update somewhere that you can't get rid of it. Nothing else goes on it for that exact reason. Like you put a lot of money into it. It works exactly how you need it to work. I don't even open email on it. Nothing.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're old machines, but they still do a great job.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as you keep, like, if you're doing something that takes a lot of horsepower or is really an intense process, and you try and do like everyday things on that as well, you're just asking for trouble, because it used to be that recording studio guys would not even hook their studio PCs up to the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's, that's the way updates happen. But it used to be like they wouldn't even put it on the internet because it used to be so touchy. Like you could, and this was even on Macs, you download a new piece of software, a new plugin or new whatever, and all of a sudden it breaks everything and you can't record anything. Mm-hmm. It's amazing how it is now. It's amazing how easy everything is now. But yeah, back in the early days of recording to digital audio workstations, man, it was
early Pro Tools.
Every update was like you held your breath and opened a project after the update. And you were like, I didn't update my MacBook to Catalina until like a couple of weeks ago, because all the gear that I use for the audio stuff had all put stuff on their website saying we're now stable on Catalina.
Yeah.
So it's, I want there to be one solution. Like the idea of having like a monstrous gaming PC or something like that, like one of these super monster PCs that could just be the only thing that I use, and I can take it with me and I can put it down and I can plug it into a workstation, and that idea is really, really tempting. And I tried to do that several different ways. Couldn't do it. It was too problematic. But now my MacBook stays plugged into that monitor sitting over there, and this PC has been sitting here. And as long as I don't break the monitors, I've broken 4 monitors in the past like 6 months. Yeah.
How did you manage that?
Whoa.
Well, one, I had this was really painful. I had a 29 or 49 inch Samsung monitor, curved monitor, and it was fantastic. I loved it, but the feet took up a lot of space on the desk, so I wanted to mount it on a desk mount. Well, it was a little too heavy for the desk mount that I tried to mount it on, so I tried to lift it up just to pull it off the mount, and my thumb was on the screen itself and not on the frame.
Crack.
And just cracked. That's $1,000 down the poop hole. It was terrible.
It's not that's not warranty.
No, and I can only imagine like paying for that to be repaired would be as much as buying another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least close enough that there's no reason to go through the trouble you'd have to go through. But now I've got like dead monitors just laying around my studio. But yeah, the most recent dead monitor came when I was doing a review of Beats Studio 3 wireless versus the Soundcore Q10s, which are like a $60 wireless noise canceling headphone.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to stress test the Soundcores, so I just reached over and smacked them on my desk a couple of times, and one of the earpieces popped off and hit the corner of the monitor. And when I looked over, I was like, oh, my monitor's broken.
Oh.
Yeah. So
if Jason didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to have in our studio, I've always wanted to have an entire wall full of broken monitors and then place them together like Tetris. So it's like an entire wall and they're all just kind of like staticky and like kind of messing up. I've always wanted to have a wall like that. I think that'd be a cool. interesting wall.
I'm almost there. I'm
Make it
almost
happen,
there.
man. That looked really cool behind you.
Yeah, just like all the broken monitors. I'd probably trigger a lot of people. You know, anybody who's ever broken a monitor and you see that like spider web and then all the color.
You should take the headphones next time and toss them through the monitor.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
So I got to figure out new and exciting things to smash, and new and exciting ways to smash them.
Get a fold, and fold it the wrong way.
Get a fold and use it when it breaks,
and then fold it the wrong way.
Yeah, I have to admit, when I watched Zach's Jerry Rig Everything video where he put the sand in the fold and then just went like,
it's cringy.
Yeah, well, it was very cringy,
but
a
whole new level. So, is there any other? It seems like the world of tech has been kind of quiet, obviously, in the last week with other events going on, right? So,
yeah, well, tech has been completely dead for a while. I mean, as you know, we're taking yet another source that says the MacBook Pro, the iPhone might be delayed, and reporting that as news.
I don't think like we always see when the iPhone comes out, it's the Apple stores always have the stock, and I always hear from the different dealers all the time when I used to work in the industry that the dealers, the private guys and the corporate stores, they always had to wait a couple weeks until the Apple stores were done pushing their stock. I don't think we're even going to see even major stock loads at store levels. Do you know what I mean? Forget about being able to walk in on the day of or the day after or anything like that. If you get a pre-order in, you'll probably have to wait 2 weeks after. I can see this happening. I can see people putting their pre-orders in and then getting the email updates like 48 hours before, 72 hours before, for saying, hey, there's going to be a week delay on your device. I can see that happening.
Yeah, I'd rather just line up outside the store the night before.
Those days are over, man. Nobody does that anymore.
Those are gone.
Yeah, but if I'm gonna take the time to pre-order,
and
then I have to wait. Like, that's no fun.
I would rather get up at 2 a.m. like we were doing. I think I'd rather stay up until 2 a.m. like we were doing before last year when they changed everything.
I think this year, Viper, we should rather than getting up early, like you said, 6 a.m. or whatever it is, we should just pull an all-nighter, do like a 8-hour stream starting like midnight.
Oh, that would be something.
That would be amazing.
So so earlier we were talking about probably not going to CES. I know I talked to you about this earlier on my podcast, D, but would you even consider going to CES in 2021? Given what's happening, yeah.
No, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to go to any event at least till mid to later 2021. Like, this is going to have to be stamped out.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the vaccine.
I'm just not gonna do it. I mean, I don't need to be there that bad. It's going to be there the next year, and I have asthma. The last thing I want is to end up with the Rona.
Yeah.
On top of that, so it's just, for me, it's just not worth it. I can wait. I mean, man, we've all been pinned down for months. Like, I can miss an event or two. Like, it's
if you're not used to it by now, you need to, right? So
I mean, I see all the people in the States, they're protesting, or even before the protest, people are like running out to the beach.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of like a scene out of like Vikings or like, Braveheart, where it's like you've got the two opposing sides and people are just like charging. Right on one side, you've got coronavirus, and the other side, you've got all the people who are just like, I'm going to the beach.
Yeah.
Just like running towards each other, getting ready for a collision.
Yeah,
it's not going to end well. It's not going to end well.
The thing is, like, and I've been saying this since it started. We, like, in our lifetime, we've never seen anything like this.
Right.
And
not in the U.S. Not in the U.S. Right.
Not in the U.S. I mean, there was a flu pandemic in '68. There was 1919, but never have we had anything that like super impacted our daily lives. Like this has totally disrupted everything about our daily lives, which to me is almost, it's kind of a fantastic thing, because whatever happens after, it's not going to be what normal was then. And there was plenty that could have changed for better or worse with that normal. So I'm anxious to see what happens coming out of this, and how we rebuild our sort of social structures and everything like that. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, so I live in Asia, right? So I was in Asia during the SARS outbreak. I was there during the swine flu outbreak. I was there during the MERS outbreak. So it's always like all hands on deck over in Asia. But it never really gets outside of that for the most part. You know, something might hit here or there. Africa always gets hit with something terrible, but like something that takes over, you know, on a global scale, like that's what it is going to take for us to change how we live.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's going to look like, but I know stuff like handshakes are probably going to go away. Well, you know, where I live, we do this. You know, we do this sort of thing.
Yeah, I was
Living
fist
in
bumping
Asia,
at CES. I didn't shake anybody's hand. I think I hugged Jeff, and that was it. And I tried to hug Mr. Mobile, but he pushed me away. And
yeah.
Well.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I saw. I don't know where it was. It was somewhere in China, and instead of handshaking, like a guy got off the bus and he saw his friend and he went over and they like tapped feet.
Yeah, people were doing that for a bit in the elbow thing. I thought it was kind of silly, but yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, you know, we've adapted to these kinds of things in the past. You know why we shake hands with the right hand, right?
Because it shows that you're unarmed. Isn't
Because
it?
you
Used to wipe with the left. Well, I
they
mean,
still do that. They still do that in certain regions of the world.
yeah. So this was the clean. This was the clean
Sir.
one. This was the dirty business one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's you know,
For the come and go.
yeah, exactly. Have you ever shopped at a come and go? D?
What is it? A come and go?
Yeah.
It's a gas station.
This sounds like a trick question.
No, we talked about it.
I mean, that sounds like something. That sounds like something I've done behind a dumpster, but I've never gotten gas.
Oh boy.
I mean, I don't know.
Wow.
Sounds
Yeah,
like a
it's
trick question to me.
Oh man.
It's a gas station chain out here in Iowa. And,
Okay, behind a dumpster at a gas station. That makes sense.
yeah. And it has this little shopping thing and all that. It's nowhere near as good as a Sheetz. We've established how good Sheetz is. Sheetz is. You're from Ohio, right? There's Sheetz in Ohio. aren't there?
Yeah. No, I've never seen a Sheetz.
Oh, okay. Well, I know that
Ohio was a long time ago for me. It was a really long time ago.
I thought maybe you'd been back. I don't know.
It's been a long time.
You know what, Jason?
Yeah.
We're coming up on 2 hours, just so you know.
Indeed.
And tonight on Skinamax, starring D. Niman, Behind the Dumpster.
The D.
Part
Niman
2. This is part 2. That's getting ready to come on tonight.
Behind the Dumpster. The D. Niman story.
Yeah. Channel pivot.
Last we left our hero.
Yeah. I'm gonna start a channel on that hub. I don't want to say what it is, but the hub.
D. Niman
website.
is the D.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
what did somebody
The
call,
hamster channel. Yeah.
what did somebody call that that they called it something else?
Happy Hub?
No, they called it like P-tube or something like that.
Yeah.
And
Look
and I
for
was,
my name over there. Yeah.
yeah, that doesn't sound right either. P-tube doesn't.
We'll call it like dumpster diving with D. Niman.
D, did you start an OnlyFans to fund your Airbnb?
Oh man.
Hey,
OnlyFans is
I'm
one of
not
those.
too proud. I'm not too proud to have an OnlyFans account. All right. Just putting that out there. I'm too old to have anything to hide.
I was really curious about OnlyFans, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna go over and see like who's over there, and then like you have to sign up to get on the site, and I was like, I don't want to do that. I want to browse anonymously.
Nope. Gotta pay.
Credit card.
Yeah, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. I'm too old for that stuff.
Well, that's like a niche, right?
Yeah.
Like they'll call you
Yeah.
daddy and all that stuff.
Yeah, I know, but and
Dumpster diving with daddy. That could be
That's
your
right.
thing.
that's right. So speaking of watching things, let's wrap up with what to watch or what we have been watching and what people should watch this week. Zach, why don't you start?
I've been I haven't been watching a lot of television because I was in the hospital for the last week. But I've been watching a lot of Binging with Babish on YouTube, and there's another channel and I can't remember his name. I'm gonna look it up here while you guys are talking, but he like remakes like popular sandwiches and fast foods. So he'll do his own version of chicken nuggets, he'll do his own version of the Baconator, he's done his own version of like In-N-Out. I'll find the name of the channel, but I've been watching these two channels. I love Binging with Babish because it's so calming and everything like that. And then I started looking up different ways of preparing eggs, and now I'm really into like hard-boiled eggs. Like boiling it for like 5 minutes, then in a cool bath for 10, then peeling that sucker, putting some salt, pepper on it. Like that's a good meal. And that's protein. Like that's all in my diet.
Yeah.
I think it is. I think Morgan says here, Sam, the cooking guy. I think that's who it is. I need to look it up. He's really good though. He's a lot of fun. Yeah, I have to look it up. But that's what I've been watching. I haven't been watching any television because the TV they give you in the hospital was like this big.
Yeah,
like my phone was bigger.
Yeah. Viper's been watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh God, yeah. For the last 2 weeks, I've been binge watching Buffy. I'm on season 7, almost done with season 7. So your boy's been rolling through.
Yeah, and Buffy's good. I haven't watched Buffy for a while, and I'm afraid that it would not like hold up and stand the test of time. I'm afraid it wouldn't be as good as it was in my brain back when it was on TV. That's my big fear. Because yeah, that was one of our appointment TV shows. That X-Files. Yeah,
X-Files is good.
Okay, I found the other channel. The guy's name is Joshua Wiseman. 2.1 million subscribers on YouTube. He's got a series on there. It's all cooking, but he does this series called Make It Better. So he'll take like popular fast foods or whatever, or popular foods in pop culture, and remake them himself, and they always look amazing. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't do the eggs though. I've got a whole story about eggs.
I've been eating ever since I started my diet, and like some hardcore stuff because eggs are like practically all protein, right? Like I've been making eggs all different types of ways.
Yeah, it's I've got like childhood trauma stories about eggs, so I'm not going to go there. But I can eat scrambled eggs. That's about it.
That's what I eat.
I love scrambled eggs.
Yep, scrambled eggs. Yep.
I made some this week, but I normally use like bacon fat, salt and pepper. But this time I did like all butter. Whew, those were creamy, good. Put on some sourdough bread that my wife made. Damn.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't really cook anything. So
$20 super chat, LeBaron.
Whoa, LeBaron Burton in the house. He started the whole thing. Last week there was a frenzy of activity in the super chats because Viper just insisted that I needed to get this magic keyboard.
How do you like it?
I've only had it I got it at 6:00 this afternoon. I like it so far. I have to get used to the keyboard because I've been using a Logitech keyboard case and the keys are spaced differently. So I got to figure that out. My hand keeps hitting the iPad while I'm typing. So I gotta see if I adjust my way out of that. I'm very particular about my typing. But LeBaron Burton, thank you very much. Good to see you. I still got to get some of that popcorn. I haven't gotten the popcorn. I got to get the popcorn. But D, what have you been?
Man, what have we watched? So since we've been on lockdown, we powered through Vikings, like 6 seasons of Vikings.
Nice.
We finished Homeland.
Wow.
I'm sure we finished some other stuff too, but we just finished Watchmen like 2 days ago on Netflix. Watchmen. We're actually looking for something else to watch. So
So
I don't have any recommendations. Like the Homeland was awesome. Season 8 for Homeland, which is the final season. If you're into Homeland, fantastic. It was great.
I watched like the first 3 or 4 seasons. I binged those like back in the day, but I didn't keep up with it. So
Okay, so you can skip. So if you watch the first 3 seasons, which were probably the better ones, you can skip all the way until like season 7 and pick up 7 and 8, and you're good.
yeah, I really like the Watchmen series too. More than I thought I would. I was afraid because I'm a big Watchmen fan. Like I used to even teach that comic to undergraduates. And I was just afraid that it was going to be not like the Watchmen.
It was really slow getting started. Like there were a couple of times where I thought I'm not going to make it through this, but then once it picked up, it was full on. We really enjoyed it once it picked up.
I just watched over the course of 2 days, Devs.
Devs.
It's an FX show that streamed, I think, exclusively on Hulu. And I got Hulu specifically to watch Devs. It's, I think, an 8-episode season, hour-long episodes, 45 minutes, whatever. Made and written and directed by Alex Garland, who wrote and directed Ex Machina.
Okay.
And I really liked Ex Machina. Was one of my
good.
like sort of. I liked it when it came out, and then it's just sort of slowly become one of my favorite movies. And so I really like that sort of existential near future stuff. And Devs has a lot in common with Ex Machina. So if you're into that and you just want to watch like 8 hours of it, yeah, it was really pretty good. And it's got I'm blanking on the guy's name now. Nick Offerman, who I only ever knew as I never watched Parks and Rec regularly, but I'd only ever seen him on Parks and Rec. So he's in there. He plays like the crazy tech mogul guy. So the Howard Hughes character. So yeah, he's got long hair. I don't think it's real, but Halt and Catch Fire. I watched the first 2 seasons of Halt and Catch Fire, and they were really good. Like I learned things about the computer industry that I did not know as I followed that. Like how much of an underdog anybody else was in terms of selling computer stuff versus IBM in the 70s. It's just IBM was the only game until they weren't. That's
Go
ahead.
Whoa, my microphone went crazy. Do you hear that echo?
Yeah, it happens.
It does that sometimes. I don't know.
Weird.
It happens with guests after you've streamed too long.
I was going to ask if any of you have seen Space Force and if it's as terrible as people say.
First 2 episodes were good, like it was good, and then we could barely get through 3 and 4, and I'm like, I'm not watching anymore. I'd rather tear my eyes out. And I like Steve Carell. I like everybody that's in that show. It's not funny.
Yeah, we watched it. It came out on a Friday, right?
Yeah.
So we usually have movie night on Friday, and so we said, let's watch two episodes of this and see what happens. I fell asleep somewhere after the beginning of the 2nd episode.
Wow.
When it was over, and haven't gone back to it. So I don't know. It's an interesting idea, but I don't know. It's an interesting idea for a movie, I think, but not for like a half-hour episodic television show.
I don't know if the show knows what it wants to be, because it definitely came across to me as kind of a comedy-ish type thing. And the first 2 episodes were definitely like that. Not like hilarity, but like, okay, funny, right? But then the 3 and 4, I'm just like, what?
Yeah. I don't know. I watched Devs. I still have most of I watched the first episode of season 3 of Westworld. So I've got that.
I forgot we watched Westworld too. That's good. We enjoyed it.
First season of Westworld, like blew my mind
Yes.
because I was watching, and as the episodes went on, I was like, something else is happening here. Like,
Right.
and it took me like half the season to realize that there were different timelines.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. So yeah, Westworld season 1 was really good. Season 2 turned out good, but I was kind of mixed on it. But I love Jesse Pinkman, and I love like near future stuff. So I've kind of been saving like that candy bar that you put in the freezer. I kind of been saving Westworld season 3.
It's good. I see a lot of people come down hard on it, but I mean, it's a complete turn. It's obviously in a different place, but I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my recommendation for all you tech nerds is Devs, because it's interesting.
I'll check it out.
It's very interesting.
Is
But
that on Netflix or Hulu?
it is on Hulu.
Hulu. Okay.
Hulu, yeah. Which like I said, I just got my Hulu subscription to watch Devs. So now I'm going to see if there's anything else worth watching on Hulu, and then if not, I will stop subscribing.
You know, good movie. It's on Amazon Prime. The one with Jennifer Lopez, Hustlers.
That
that
was
good?
that was a good movie. Yeah.
It's actually pretty good. It kind of reminds me of it was the one with the Henry Hill and all that. Wise Guy. No. Never mind. It's a good movie.
Yeah. You're talking about Goodfellas.
Goodfellas. Yeah, it's like Goodfellas, but with
Strippers.
yeah. But I mean, there's not a whole lot of stripping except for at the start. But
Well,
but I didn't realize it's based on a true story. What happened in that club, in that men's club in New York City, about what happened at that club, and it all makes sense when I started watching it.
yeah, that was before Giuliani time.
Yeah.
Giuliani time, they shut down all the houses of ill repute.
And this is only recently. It's like it takes place during like 2007, 2009. Like it's not even that old, right? So
Yeah. It was weird to live in New York City in that time, because I moved to New York City when David Dinkins was the mayor still, like the last year or so of David Dinkins. And it was like, the Warriors kind of New York City. It was still pretty scary. These rats crawling all over garbage and everything like that. And then Giuliani got elected, and he put the hammer down and decided we're going to clean up 42nd Street. We're going to get rid of all the strip clubs. We're going to do all this, and the whole thing changed. And I hate to say that it got better, because I don't like those kind of like strong arm tactics. We lived on Avenue B between 12th and 13th Street, and the block between B and A on 13th Street was mostly squatters. Like these people had moved in to these buildings that had been abandoned years before. They'd been keeping the buildings up. They'd been repairing them. But they were squatting there. They didn't own the buildings or the land. And for a whole year, Giuliani parked the police on either end of that street. And on July 4th, they brought like the police tank in and just raided the whole place and forced everybody out.
Wow.
And now they're like the East Village is very expensive. So I'm still sad, because I could have bought the building that we were living in when I was like 25 in Williamsburg. Could have bought that building for $250,000 is what the landlord offered it for. And I was 25 years old. I was like, $250,000. That's a lot of money.
Right.
It
may as well have bbeen $2 million at that age.
But he sold it. He sold it 10 years later, and they tore the building down, and he sold it for millions of dollars, because Williamsburg had like gentrified and grown up so much. So I mean, you win some, you lose some. I've got a story. So I've got a story about Alphabet City. A friend of mine who lived there during the 80s. I lived in New York in the 90s. A friend of mine who lived in Alphabet City in the 80s told a story about how in the park that's sort of in the center of the of the neighborhood, they found parts of a person in like every garbage can in the park.
Hey.
Oh, jeez.
So it was a scary time. But speaking of scary times, we've gone past 2 hours. So I think it's time for us to be done.
Podcast was kind of all over the place tonight.
Well, I mean, when the tech news is not really there, what are you going to do?
Talk about dumpsters.
Talk about dumpsters, come and go, and you know, like PTube and that kind of thing, as well as good TV shows and a lot of other stuff. But for everybody who's been here hanging out with us for the whole time, why? But thank you. Why? But thank you. For everybody who's going to listen to this on Thursday or after, whenever I get it up as a podcast, thank you for that too. Please subscribe and rate and give us a nice little review on the Apple Podcasts and all that kind of thing. But otherwise, my name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. I'd like to thank my panel of friends here tonight for a great podcast. And until the next time,